Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm your host Lighton and this is Us Together. Yay! How are you girl?
Hello, baby.
How have you been?
I'm doing great.
Are you keeping safe?
I'm trying my very best to during this time.
That's good.
It's not easy,
I know. I mean, you're all out here trying.
I know.
So I'm excited to be doing this today with Patience because she has a non-profit and she's out here impacting lives, and that's what we need. That's what we need in society. I realize that the only way we can do better is if we all work together. That's why I'm so excited for Patience to introduce it. Banan, tell me about your NGO.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Patience, and like I like to mention before, I have an NGO, and as everyone knows, that's a non-for-profit. So with everything that's going on in this time, it's so important for us to give back into society, which is why I really love the fact that you came and you made a platform that allows us as youngsters to come and talk about what we're trying to do, how we're trying to get the world to change, and how we can get you guys at home to also try to do the same thing. So basically, my NGO focuses on children who are in vulnerable positions, be it they don't have parents, they're orphans, or things like that. And it's called Mwana wa Mai, which translates to my mother's child in Shona. So basically, what that means is, regardless of where you were born and who you are, you will always be my mother's child. And my job is to make sure you're safe and protected. So right now, what we're doing is donations to the food bank, what we can manage as students. But if you guys have any ideas of what else we could do or which charities you'd like to see us at, please do not hesitate to let Lighton know so we can make some changes,
Yay! First of all, Patience, thanks for really doing that. That's what we need. I realize so many times we all want to see a better world, want to live in a better place. And I always tell my friends that the only way we can do that is if we become the change that you want to see. And I'm so proud of you that you're doing this. It's something very good. It's very inspirational.
Thank you, babe.
All young girls should be proud of you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I feel the same way about you. Your platform is going to go places and it's going to inspire so many people.
Thank you. So we often think about abuse as maybe slapping you, maybe abusing you, that maybe you're fat, maybe you're ugly, but there's so much to that, right? It's a very, very deep thing.
Yes.
There's so many things like emotional abuse, physical abuse, and so many times we don't talk about sexual abuse because people don't think that someone can be sexually abused. People automatically think because you're in a relationship or a marriage, you're supposed to want to have sex all the time, whenever the other person wants, which is not right, right? It's not right. I mean, it's also sexual abuse. What do you think about this topic? What do you think about the types of emotional abuse, or how does a person even know how does a person even know they're in an abusive relationship or they're being abused?
A lot of the times I've asked myself, what does abuse look like? And abuse is different for every single person. As long as you feel like you're in a situation where you're being abused, your feelings are always valid. Someone will try to convince you that, no, it's not serious enough for it to be abused. I mean, it only happens once in a while or something like that. But inside your feeling, your gut instinct, you know that something is not right,
Right.
So we're trying to encourage you to listen to that little voice that's like, okay, but as much as he loves me, should he be doing this or should she be doing this,
Right.
There are things that we often accept when we're in love. So some of the physical signs of abuse are basically like shoving or getting hit or anything that causes any bodily harm to you or around you. Right.
Yeah, I remember, and it's so sad because I remember it was about 5 years ago when I was doing my bachelor's, right? Here we are, very young girls, excited about campus and all that. I had this young friend, and it is so sad because the boyfriend was beating her, constantly beating her. And then she couldn't tell anyone. So one day she came to school and she had been beaten, her eye was big, so there's no way she could hide it. I told her, no, something is not right. You need to tell me what's going on. And she told me the guy had been beating her. The guy had been telling her how she's fat. The guy had been telling her how she's not good enough. That if they separated, her life would end. And what made me really sad is one of her friends used to tell her it's okay, he will change, it will be better, And I was like who even does that, But it was so sad because she was a young girl, and someone was there making her feel it's okay, it's not so bad, and I don't think that's right. I don't think that was right.
Well, I have a question for you. So what advice did you give your friend?
The advice I gave my friend, first of all, I told her she's good enough.
Yeah.
I told her she was good enough. I told her she was good enough, and no man whatsoever should ever hit her. She should not even tolerate it, because at the same time I was in I won't say an abusive relationship per se, but like I saw signs, right?
Yeah.
Still back then, I mean, it was about still 2015, about 5 years ago, right? I was dating this guy, and I mean, he had everything, I was a young girl, and he had everything, he had made it in life and all that. I was very excited, right? And one day he told me, I'll beat you. He said it in my language, He said, Njakukuba. So I also replied to him in my language that onkubotia, which means like, how can you beat me? He told me, oh, you're Zeka, you think you know everything, I'll beat you. I told him, no, you can't beat me. So I told him, at the moment you beat me, I'll take you to police. So the guy was like, you can't take me to police because you love me. I told him, if you love me that much, you wouldn't beat me, right?
That's powerful.
Yeah, that's what I told him, because if someone loves you, they shouldn't beat you,
Exactly.
So one day I went at a restaurant, and I don't even remember what exactly happened, but I think this other guy was looking at me. And it wasn't my fault, the other guy was looking at me, right?
Yeah.
So this guy comes and tells me, I'm going to beat you. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm going to beat you. So I remember I fasted that day, and he had taken me, like, for, we call it futari in Islam, like that meal you have after you fast. So he had taken me for futari. So he told me, if you don't get up right now and you go, I'm not going to pay your bill. You understand? But my mom raised me right. My mom, I have a single mother, and she raised me right? She always told me, never go anywhere without some money in your wallet, right? So I had some money, So I told him, it's okay, just go, just go. He's like, how are you going to pay? I told him I have my money. He was so shocked, right? And then he paid, right? Ever since that day, I knew this wasn't for me. And when I told my friends I wanted to leave this relationship, most of them were like, no, Lighton, he will change, the guy wants to marry you, I was like, no, these are red flags, these are very, like, these flags are too red not to be seen. Because I know so many times we see these red flags and we just ignore them. And then we think he's going to change or anything,
But you know what? I like what you mentioned about, you have those dynamics where your friends are telling you, just stay with him. He's good. He's made it in life. And that's something that a lot of women in society face. That's a lot of pressure.
Right.
You're with someone who's doing fairly well, and everyone's like, but you should worry about marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting older. You have to worry about things like that. Society has taught women to tolerate things. We're taught to be the strong woman, be the rock. Even some of the quotes, although they're powerful, I don't always agree with them. You strike a woman, you strike a rock. Why must I be a rock at all times? You understand? Why can't I just be soft? Why can't I be a marshmallow? Women are expected to just take it on and be able to be strong because we have to hope and pray for marriage. And I feel like that's a burden that has to be taken off young girls in society, because then you're able to fall in love with whoever you are and leave situations that you're not good for, or situations that are going to end up harming you.
And Patience, another thing I realized, like, with our generation, or with the people younger than us, is like, or even the people older than us, right? We've been told that as a woman you must suffer in love for you to prove that you're in love.
That's very true.
Because I remember that guy used to tell me, oh, my mom loved me, so our mom loved us, and like, he tolerated everything from our dad. That's why we're here today. I know, like, I know as a woman, maybe I'm supposed to love you unconditionally and all that, but like, why must I suffer? Why can't love just be free?
That's very true.
I don't think that's right, and like, it really makes me sad.
Well, Lighton, I also have another question.
Right.
A lot of people will be asking us, people abuse, it's there, we see it, but why do you think people are abusive? Like, from my perspective, I think it's just like, people like power, and in situations where it's the person who's abusing is stronger than the person that they're actually abusing, they want to show how powerful they are. They want to, constantly put someone down to put themselves up. So what are some of the reasons you think people abuse?
I think actually, before I go to the reasons why people abuse, right? Let's first help our viewers to let them know, how do you know that you're in an abusive relationship? How do you know? And I think the first easy way to know that you're in an abusive relationship is if this person distances you from your friends and your family members. Because one thing I realized, that guy used to tell me, oh, you can't be such a friend. This person is not good enough. But I mean, you phone me at 21. Like, I know I'm young, but still I'm a big girl. Like, you phone me with my friends. I have a right to be with whoever I want to be with.
That's very true.
So what do you think? How do you think someone can tell that they're in an abusive relationship?
I think, like I mentioned earlier on, like, deep down, we have that instinct and that gut feeling that something here is not right.
And God bless women with that intuition. But so many times they don't use it, which is sad.
And I think that's just because as women, we love so hard. We love to the extent that we would rather forgive and forget and be with the person that we love. I think that's one thing that makes us so amazing, but also the one thing that's our biggest downfall.
I think
our
because we are
ability to
also raised to know, we are also taught as we're growing up that peace is better than being right.
That's
So
very
sometimes you just excuse it, right? And another way you can know that you're in an abusive relationship, if this person constantly puts down your self-esteem,
Yeah.
like constantly puts it down, like if this person makes you think that you're not good enough,
Yeah.
like if you leave them, I mean, you'll never find someone better. I mean, like he's everything. He's not everything.
He's not.
He's not everything. Because before you met him, he had a life, So you can still do it.
Yeah, and then obviously there's some of the more obvious things that you see, like him hitting you, or
Right.
how he treats you when you're out in public. Are you treated as an equal partner, or are you treated as an object? How they discuss you and discuss the future with you. Is it when you finish, I don't want you to do any work, I don't want you to do that, you should just continue to work and live under me? Like, those are red flags that we
I
don't
know.
always see and we don't
know.
always recognize. But someone who already has plans for what you must be like when you're married already has an idea that they can tell you who to become.
I know, another thing I know about that is I read this quote somewhere and it resonated with me so much that time because I was finishing my bachelor's degree, right?
Yeah.
I realized that if you don't have a plan, someone else is going to hire you to fill in their plan, like to fit in their plan.
That's very
And that's what happens to so many young girls, This guy has, he has made it in life or he has something, so he'll just tell you, oh, I'm going to marry you, and then you find yourself taking on a lot of abuse. And another thing that we usually like maybe take for granted, another form of abuse is, have you ever been in a situation whereby your boyfriend or your husband, whichever way it can be, and you're in a group, right? And everybody's giving their ideas, but the moment you start talking, it touches your hand. Like, don't talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just keep quiet. That's also another form of abuse because it's
Yes.
like your opinion doesn't matter.
It is.
Like you're not good enough to talk.
To talk.
And I don't think that is really right. I think that is wrong. I think we should really tell our young girls to, us, myself, you, and everybody else, to be very cautious. Like look critically. I know we love so hard, but like think. Let's think. Let's follow our hearts.
I really like that. And just also, like I mentioned before, I really enjoy speaking in quotes.
Right.
So something I want to advise our young women, our viewers, everyone who's out there is become the woman your mother wanted you to marry. Become the man your mother wanted you to marry. Because you're constantly being told you want a successful person, you want to be this, but you have the exact same potential to do the exact same things.
Thank you.
Without having to
Be strong.